Can McCaffrey do it again? It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense here set to take over with Russell Wilson leading the way. Wilson, a Pro Bowler 5 times in his 7 NFL seasons, including last year when he threw for a career-high 35 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mike 54. Drop deep, drop deep.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this down to the 35.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Throwing is Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Green 80. Right there, 54 miles.
On first down, it's Carson, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson forced out to his left. It's caught. Lockett. A look at the numbers for Lockett from a week ago. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
We're scoreless after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Check line 90. Check line 54. Line 54.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. So here are the Panthers now under head coach Ron Rivera. They'll be led out by their now 30-year-old quarterback, Cam Newton, MVP of the league back in 2015.
And his task in this situation is making sure that his team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the 2nd quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. That is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. On 2nd and 10, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Throwing is Newton. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Returnable for Lockett. Powerful running. Now he goes spin. Oh, refusing to go down. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Panthers defense, they make their way back out there now. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 39, Wilson flushed out right. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Austin Safarian Jenkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? But you get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter. No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports.
Ready? Katie. Check right 54.
On 1st down, Newton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 18. It's a Carolina 1st down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
QB's trash. Let's go. Watch twist.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 2nd and 11 now. Newton, and he's got McCaffrey open, complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a...
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the
script is a good one for them. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Right there. 54 Mike.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive
It's in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go. Check 180. Check right 54. Right 54.
Is Samuel complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier,
lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works. DJ Moore. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this. They rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now it's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Bang out, bang out, bang, bang.
Wilson will throw again. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
They still playing 25. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Being chased out left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Wilson now to throw on third down. Flush to his right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now Wilson out to his, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Austin Safarian-Jenkins with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On 2nd and 10. Newton, Bradley McDougald that time, able to knock it away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. William Hayes. And it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Flag 90. 59. And keep it up. Keep it up.
Wilson wants to throw it. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Panthers.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time.